Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here, great for recovering alcoholic and addict, just like every day. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe, leave the video a like, drop me a comment, and by all means, share with anybody you think might get something out of it. Other than that, how was everybody today, guys? Not a bad day, busy day, really busy day. Yeah, check in real quick with it. It was actually really, was really happy this morning. The first job I was doing was a fairly new customer. It was a property I've never been to before. He'd called me on Sunday and left me a message. I called him back. He didn't answer. I thought it said something about locks, but when I talked to him yesterday afternoon, he let me know that he'd actually had a frozen pipe burst. A tenant had moved out of the apartment and left the doors wide open on Saturday in that extreme cold. And I'm like, oh, this is gonna be, this is gonna be a shit show. I'm like, all right, no problem. I'll come over and help you out. I got there this morning, and the first thing we noticed walking in is that the furnace is not working. So now, on top of frozen and burst pipes, we've got no heat. So I said, well, first thing we do is the water's already. He had obviously shut the water off, and guys, this had gone so far that the whole kitchen floor was a sheet of ice. I literally had to chip the ice off the floor so we could walk in the kitchen. I'm like, oh, this is going to be an absolute nightmare for this poor guy. Really nice guy. Went down the basement, pulled the furnace apart, found a broken wire. And found it in like 30 seconds. Boom, plugged it in, fired right up, right? Guy was like, oh my God. He was so impressed. Further, there was a water filtration system on the kitchen sink, and it was actually the cartridges of the filters that burst and were pouring out, as well as the shutoff for the dishwasher had popped. So no real damage. We were able to go out and get a couple of new cartridges, a new shutoff. I had brought my heater over, so I installed my heater and we cranked the heat up. And by the time we get back from the depot getting the stuff, we had thawed out all the pipes, so I put everything back together. And in like an hour and a half, we're walking away. He's got some cleanup to do. No major damage, fortunately. The water was able to drain to the basement, and it didn't ruin the floors because they're waterproof vinyl flooring. And all in all, I mean, this guy, we saved the day. Like, the furnace is up and running. The water leaks are all fixed. Yeah, I mean, I'd never seen a happier customer. This guy was absolutely thrilled. Made some good, quick money, and went on and had a extremely busy day. Like, today was one of those days where I'm like, I had to keep reminding myself that this is why I do what I do, and this is why I have to make sure I charge, because I got people that are calling me for these quick, smaller jobs, and like, if I don't charge for that, I mean, and I did. I charged for it, made a ton of money today. It was a great day, and everybody was very happy. But in the old days, I'd have felt so guilty, and I didn't have the sense of self worth that I wouldn't be charging. And today would have been one of those days where I made, instead of making a couple $100, I made close to $1,000, and made everybody very happy. And that's the difference today. Further than that, though, it's made me realize that we're already into the first week of February, and I had been talking about planning at least a weekend away at some point this winter. And again, I don't see anything getting. I was waiting for things to slow down a bit, and it's come to my attention that I don't really have a slow season because I offer so many different services. So, as much as I'm loving my life and I love my new idea of fun, I made plans with my brothers to get together in the next couple of weeks to go have dinner. Celebrate a couple of things that's been going on, and I realized, like, yeah, I've got to focus on fun. Like, I took a weekend back for 4th of July and went down the Cape for the weekend, and I think it's time I'm going to book a weekend away in the Bahamas. I'm thinking probably March might be the best weather. I'm going to look and see when the best weather is going to be, where it's still cold here, but it's going to be nice down there, because it's very important that we have fun, and I'm still figuring out what a lot of that is, because obviously my definition of fun has dramatically changed, and I'm still defining it, but I'm enjoying it, right? And that's what we're going to talk about today, guys. The gist for today, NA meditation reading, is titled Fun. In recovery, our ideas of fun change. In retrospect, many of us realize that when we used our ideas of fun were rather bizarre. Some of us would get dressed up and go head for the local club. We would dance, drink, and do drugs all night until the sun rose. On more than one occasion, gun battles broke out. What we then called fun, we now call insanity. Today, our notion of fun has changed. Fun to us today is a walk along the ocean, like I did back in July, watching the dolphins frolic, as I've done in the Bahamas, I'm looking forward to, as the sun sets behind them. Fun is going to a family cookout, or attending a comedy show, or a music venue. Fun is getting dressed up to go to a banquet and not worrying about any gun battles breaking out over who said what to who. Through the grace of a higher power and the fellowship of recovery, our ideas of fun has changed dramatically. Today, today when we are up to see the sunrise, it's because we went to bed very early, not because we haven't gone to bed, eyes bleary from a night of drug use. And if that was all we received from recovery, that would be enough. And the affirmation is, just for today, I will have fun in my recovery. And again, I was so happy when I did this reading. So Mike reminded me. I said, no, I promised myself that by February I would look into booking a trip. So that's what I'm going to do. In the next couple of days, I'm going to book, I'm either going to go visit my sister in Florida, or I'll go take a weekend, go to the Bahamas, or I'm going to do something because I've earned it. And if I don't, I'm going to burn myself out because I'm working really hard. And again, I've come to the realization that I don't have a slow season. I offer too many services, which is great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. If this is the biggest problem I have in my life is I'm too booked and busy and making too much money, then I'll take that all day long. I got no complaints. And it again just teaches me to be more efficient and where to put up boundaries and where to pick and choose. And there has to be a line that I draw. I can't answer every call that comes in because not all of it are paying customers. There's people that just are too lazy to get underneath. I've got 2 friends that called me this week that want me to come fix their vehicles because they're broken down on the side of the road. They're both mechanically inclined. They both do their own work, yet they think it's okay to ask me to come lay in a snowbank because they don't want to lay in a snowbank under their own vehicle. Like, no, they don't even want to tow it to my garage. I'm going to come fix it on the side of the road. I'm not going to do that. And then not get paid for it. It doesn't make sense. They're not people that, anyway, boundaries. I'm grateful that I'm able to put up boundaries and not let things like that drive me crazy anymore. We do have a little bit of snow coming tonight. I was asked to go clear out a couple of parking spots for a flower shop that I helped take care of because they got Valentine's Day coming up. So I've been going over and taking some extra trash out of their flower cuttings and cardboard and whatnot because they get overwhelmed. And again, they pay me to do so, so it's great. Service calls, and it was a beautiful reminder. Towards the end of the day, there were a couple of things coming in that I was getting a little irritated by because I'm like, it wasn't in the scope of my regular duties, and it's something, and again, in the past, I would just go do as a freebie, and I'm like, no, these people understand that I'm running a business, and if you call me during the day and you want this done, it's a service call. So I did. I went and I did the jobs, and I handed them a bill. And lo and behold, they paid me almost double what I was asking for because they appreciated the fact that I was coming out of my way and getting it done for them, and they know that I'm busy. And, in the past, I'd have all this anxiety, they're going to get mad if I... No, I've got a business to run. I have to have a sense of my own value and understand that I have places to be and obligations, and I deserve to have some fun in life as well. So if I'm going to choose to work extra, it should be because I'm making extra and I'm saving extra, and that's okay because that's what I do, and that's the biggest difference today. Fun to me today is exactly that. Whether I go out to a concert, it's making plans with my brothers to all get together for dinner. We're going to do that by the end of February. We're debating on whether it's going to be Saturday the 28th or Sunday the 29th. I think it's going to be the 29th because my nephew's birthdays are the 28th. And maybe we'll go and do something with them for their birthdays as well. But, that's fun to me today. My AA meetings on Friday are always fun. And, I'm in service there. I have the honor to be able to chair there. But, I laugh and I joke and we, that's my family. My meetings are not a chore. Maintaining my recovery today is not a chore. Posting these videos every day is not a chore. I love doing it because it gets me to look at where I'm at. I'm paying attention to where my recovery is, and I'm learning more every day. But that being said, again, I've been working really, really hard lately. And again, so I'm going to book some time because I promised myself, and I do absolutely love tropical, like most people, I'm sure. And it's been about 20 years since I've been anywhere. And the Bahamas is a cheap, easy, if I had somebody to go with me, I'd plan a week in Aruba. And as soon as I have a woman to join me, I will. But if I'm going to take a weekend, and I'm not going to wait till, I'm not going to forego a vacation because I don't have a partner in my life. No, I'm going to book myself a weekend in the Bahamas and go have a good time and go from there, right? But that's the beauty of it today, guys. My definition of fun has changed dramatically. The biggest thing that I do currently for fun is the gym. I love going to the gym, and it's work, but also makes me feel good about who I am. I'm setting records at the gym that I like. I still shake my head at. Like, I can't believe I put up 385 pounds on Sunday. I'm getting ever closer to that. When I first set the goal to go to quadruple plates, 405 pounds, I didn't realistically know if I'd get there. But then I've noticed over the last 6 months that I've been taking better care of myself. I've been going consistently. And God is just showing me that I'm on the right track by letting me know, like, every time I set that next five, and that's the thing, guys. I couldn't go from, doing 315 pounds to 405 pounds. No, I set 10-pound increment goals and I don't even set myself a time frame. I just, when I feel good, when I get the last record to 4 or 5 reps, nice and comfortable, then I know I'm capable of doing more, and I add more to it. And now I'm looking at the totality. I haven't realized I'm only 20 pounds away from 405 pounds. So I know at the rate I've been gaining, and even if I give myself another 2 months, it's February, March, April, by my birthday, I'm going to put up 405 pounds on the bench press, and that's shocking to me, and I'm thrilled with that. But that's fun to me as well, because again, every time when I wake up in the morning and I'm sore and I'm tired and it's cold, it's hard to get out of bed, and I just immediately remind myself, because I've got all the beautiful experience of every time I'm walking out of the door of the gym, I feel like $1,000,000. Not because I've broken a record, but because exercise makes you feel good. It releases endorphins. And then when I'm tired and I'm laying in bed, I just remind myself, no, like, how much better do I feel every time I walk out of the gym? Oh, okay, that's all the motivation I need. It's fun. I enjoy it. Yeah, my idea of fun used to be some really stupid things. And I'm so glad that that's not the case. Like anything else in my life today, my ideals have changed. What matters to me has changed, and what I enjoy has changed. And again, I've had to empty out a lot of bad habits, so it's created a lot of empty space. But I'm not rushing to fill that, because that's one of the mistakes I've always made, and so many people do. Fun to me is prayer and meditation, learning to sit with self so that I don't have to fill the silence with noise. And because I've managed to do that, I come up with so much better ideas, and I progress so much further along, because when I have the opportunity to sit with self and pray and meditate, which I make time for every day, I come up with good ideas. I'm able to look at the progression of what I'm doing and see better where it's leading me, because that's how God speaks to me. When I pay attention, God is showing me signs and synchronicities of what the next logical steps in my life are. And that's how I find His will for me. And then and again, He gives me the power to carry it out, because I'm able to go out and do amazing things every day. Today, one of the jobs I was doing was a warranty job on a boiler I put in back in September. There was one part that was defective, no problem. But when I get there, the side door wasn't shoveled out, and there was an 8-foot snow mound in front of it. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to stop and shovel that out. So I went up on the steps and jumped over the railing, and I've had issues with my left knee on occasion over the summer. I was wearing a brace because I had hurt it. Well, sure enough, jumping over the snowbank one of the 4 or 5 times I ended up having to do it hurt my knee a little bit. So I was limping towards the end of the day. And again, I had to pick and choose how far do I want to go, because I still got work I could be out there doing. But no, I satisfied the emergencies. I got a couple things done that came in. I got everything I had scheduled to do done. A couple of calls that came in that paid over and above, I got done. But then I got a couple of calls. One of my best customers has a sister-in-law who's got a problem with their roof, and I'm like, I don't know, we got snow coming in. I don't know if I can do it. And then they said, well, we're going to give me a number. And immediately the other person's calling, and they're trying to goad me. And, oh, well, I don't know. I hope my kitchen's not going to flood. I've been hearing about this leak. It's an ice dam in their roof for a week. Your kitchen's not going to flood. And so I told them, I said, listen, I'm not going to give you an answer, because they kept trying to lock me in. I said, no. I told Al and Gina I would speak to you, and I'm telling you what I told them. I'm going to wait and see what the snow does tomorrow. I'll see where I'm at during the day tomorrow, and I'll call you and let you know when or if I can get there. And as soon as I hung up, I got out of my truck on my knee. I'm like, no, I'm not going to go climb a ladder to smash ice on somebody else's roof that's not my customer and risk hurting myself further. And that's how God speaks to me and lets me know that's something I need to put up a boundary on. So there's my answer right there. That's not going to happen. And that's okay. I don't care what I could make on it because I don't need any one job. My health is more important today than going and making that extra quick buck. And there's the lesson in that right there. See, it's the beauty of doing these lessons every day, doing these readings every day, paying attention to my life every day. And then by working my program every day, I don't need to go do that one job that could be dangerous and I got to lug a ladder over to Belmont and the town's a pain in the ass. And nope, doesn't have to be done. I take care of my commitments. I work my recovery program and I allow time for fun and for rest and for prayer and for meditation and for recovery and for work and for eating and for sleeping. Everything my body, my mind, and my soul needs today. And that's a beautiful thing that I'm so glad I can finally say. Guys, it's a shorter reading. I'm going to keep it a shorter video. Thank you so much for being here with me. Always remember, God loves you. I love you. We'll see you in the next one.